I'ma go around the town, up in my way, up in my shit. Niggas be making a sound. Niggas don't wish where I'm from. Ride till we making it out. Hey. Ride till we making it out. Hey. Look. Go around the town, up in my way, up in my shit. Niggas be making a sound.
Hey, look, man, I'm telling you right now, like, that shit is health hazard for me. I'm fucking all worked up with fucking sports, bro. Like,
that's why I stopped watching baseball, bro. I was damn near ready to fucking stroke.
Yeah, it's been years of that shit. Sports, you know what I mean? It's been fucking years of that shit. And even the year that was like super cool, like, you know, when we made the playoffs and shit.
Like what, 2015, 2016?
I think it was 2014. And then we got fucking swept by the Royals.
Yep.
Like,
tragic.
Bro, what? Like, we were all excited and shit. Like, all right, this is it.
I was like, finally, bro, Trout's gonna do something. Got one hit, I think, if that. For
you got a homer.
Series.
That's it.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, that was.
It's funny because I watch like fucking YouTube and shit and be like, Mike Trout playoff highlights, and it's just that hit.
Yeah, that's it.
Fucking
it's like literally 19 seconds.
You know what I mean? Like,
dickheads,
I'm like, damn, okay, fucking assholes right here, man.
It's fucked up because they're not even wrong. That's wrong.
They're not even wrong.
Yeah, that's the worst part about it. Like, what are you gonna say? You know
I hear you.
That's what it is. But that's what being an Angel fan is, man. That shit is what it's been for a long time. Like, if you go back and look at 2002 when we won the World Series, a lot of shit happened for us. Like, we got lucky a lot, especially through those playoffs, bro. We beat the Yankees.
You remember it vividly?
Like what? Yeah. Like we beat the Yankees.
Yeah.
Then we beat the Twins.
Yeah, that was a crazy run.
And then we.
That's how I started becoming an Angel fan, because I was barely learning baseball too.
I'm 36, so
I hear you.
So and like then we beat the Giants with fucking JT Snow and fucking Barry Bonds and Kenny Lofton and fucking like Hall of Famers, and we got lucky a lot, bro. And like
it's kind of like a Dirk ring, huh?
Yeah.
Is that valuable? Is that valuable? It was
a
girl.
And we really had no superstars either, bro.
Yeah.
We had like what, Tim Salmon.
We had Troy Gloss, Tim Salmon. We had Benji Gill.
Guerrero starting to pop off. What year was that?
That was a little bit after.
It's like
05?
Yeah, that was like 04.
Yeah, Guerrero's the first Angel star I knew of, bro.
Really? Baseball like that era.
Yeah, I started seeing the 27s all around, bro.
Garrett Anderson,
you know?
like that's how I became a fan.
I knew something weird was going on
like,
when the ball bounced in front of him and he hit into the outfield. I was like, bro, you're not supposed to be able to do that.
Yeah, that shit.
I was like, what the fuck?
I'm telling you, bro.
I was
hyped. And it was funny. The other day, I went to pick up some ceviche, and it was gonna be the Dodger Angel game, right? And I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna get home because it's already like gonna be the second inning by the time. So I go pick up the ceviche, and then I look at the score right after I pick it up, and it's like 6-0. So I text my cousin. I'm like, man, I just picked up my ceviche, and I'm like, I'm not even gonna fucking watch this game. I'm ready. We're
He was excited to eat with the game.
Yeah. Like, hey, it's gonna take me some time to eat this shit. I'm gonna watch the game. Bro, I'm like, fuck this. I'm gonna go watch Game 6 of the World Series on YouTube.
Go watch something good.
Watch something worth watching.
As a Raider fan, I do the same shit, bro.
Right?
I look up 2016 all the time.
Do you really?
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy, Lens. I would have never admitted that
when we made playoffs, but
that was when Carr had his MVP.
Oh, he got injured with like 2 games left of the season.
Yeah, it was like the last game or last season.
We're up like 35 to 6.
I was about to say, you guys should
fucking Connor Cook in the fucking playoffs.
Couldn't get a first down.
Dang, dude.
Yeah.
But that, again, bro, like, and it's crazy because then you see like
that's crazy.
Right,
Khalil Mack picking off Cam Newton.
The craziest part about it is that you know everybody knows Patriot fans,
right?
And these motherfuckers have won it so many times. Like, how does that feel, bro? Like, you won it like how many times in 10 years? Like, that must be really cool. Every year you get to celebrate.
At least every other year, at least
magically a fan
on average,
right? You know what I mean? Like,
there was one time
I
grew up with Patriots fans, bro.
You know what I mean? And
like this shit,
and they're vocal about it. I mean, and they've been able to be vocal about it for so fucking long, bro. Like, how weird would it be to like a team and not lose a lot? You know what I mean? Like, that shit don't happen. It's like being a fucking Yankee fan and shit. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
I mean, that was like a Laker fan Kobe era.
Yeah.
So like, I kind of knew what it felt like.
See, like, but I like basketball, but not as much as I like football and baseball.
I get you.
So I celebrated that, and I definitely was a fan, and I watched all that shit. But it doesn't feel the same because, like, I'll go to like one Laker game a year. Right, I've been to like 12 Angel games already this year.
So you
I go all the fuck. I'm going Sunday. You know, we got my whole family. It's like 38 of us tailgate. So like that's a family thing. You know,
that's cool.
And you be at the games. That's what like kind of.
Yeah, and it's funny because I'll see people like now it's become a thing for me, and like I didn't even do it on purpose, but it just became like the box I got put in, like with the whole Angels and the music and the baseball theme. So I just kind of ran with it. But
it's ultimately like kind of representation, bro. Because I feel like over here, like they just ultimately kind of put it as a word like an LA team. Like if you're from California, it's LA. But Angels name, was never been a representation of LA for like us.
Not even to LA. I mean, every Dodger fan will tell you that. You know what I mean? But it's even crazy because in the name it's Los Angeles Angels. Yeah. Right.
That's all I was happy that we had two teams out here with the Ducks and the Angels.
Bro. How long did it take you to get to LA from
at all, bro?
You know what I mean? Like,
kind of nationwide, they could still.
You guys left LA, just be Anaheim.
You're literally on the two opposite like spectrums of the fire.
Yeah, bro.
Like nothing like LA, bro. Like Anaheim is nothing like LA. Like I think Anaheim is a good representation of OC, but it's not even close to fucking what LA is.
Nah, definitely.
LA's a whole different ballgame. Yeah, you said that about the Angel Stadium, but didn't you have a music video there with Dope Boy?
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I didn't do that on purpose. Like, the song was about like Benji Gill and like the fact that he played in Culiacan,
right?
And then he played for the Angels in 2002. So like, I kind of wanted like a correlation between OC and Culiacan, and that was like the perfect fit. But that's what I'm saying. After that, I had to run with it because everybody was like related to that. Like, when people were like at the stadium, and they posted shit, they'd post my song on it.
Damn.
So like the homies and shit. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna keep going with
it.
Dude.
I seen Stage One do it too. He was like, he's like, where you at? Stage One. I was like,
oh yeah.
I was like, damn, this was famous.
That's the thing. Everybody like when they go, they'll post that, and then I also have like a particular sticker that I only carry at the stadium. So if you see me at the stadium or you come find me, I'll give you these stickers, and it's me and like a baseball. Like, you know what I mean?
Cool. Yeah.
And then for a while I had baseball cards. So like from Tops, I ordered it from Tops, like official fucking
ones?
Yeah, like that shit was
fucking sick.
Bro,
so I bought a bunch of them. But I only gave people those.
What does it look like on the card, if you don't mind me asking?
It's just me, like it's like a player card.
It looks player card.
So what were your stats on the back?
That's so hard.
In the back, you can't
that was
put
the idea I
stats,
had for the turkey bowl.
but you put kind of like when you have a rookie card and you don't have stats yet, and it just talks about your background. So I put like something clever. I don't remember what I put, but I just like Zenaloa, like. Played minor leagues in Culiacan, and now you know what I mean. Just something that was related to it. But it was cool because people would be like, "Where you at?" And when you find like I'd meet up with someone, and then I'd get like I give them the cards and stickers. They give me a beer and shit, and like we take pictures. It's cool. It's like it's I made it kind of like a thing. You feel me?
Yeah, just like genuine support for them to even like notice, or just to even attribute to you to like the Angel Stadium. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
This is an iconic spot.
And in the baseball card, I'm in front of the stadium and I have my hat on and my jersey on, so it looks like a baseball card. And you know, I collect baseball cards, so I just thought it'd be fucking cool to have a baseball card.
I hear you.
Yeah, that's fucking dope, dude.
Fuck with that.
I've never heard anybody getting their own baseball card.
Yeah, that's fucking
that's hard.
That's especially
original,
like a
bro.
Tops one, bro.
Yeah, because I was looking at like different ways to do it.
Yeah.
And I was like, but I want that shit to be like official, right? So.
So you had to go through Tops.
Who'd you even link to?
Well, I just
you said Tops, but
I just
like
put Tops Custom, bro, and it's like it's just an available thing.
Yeah, it's on their website.
Okay.
I think I paid I was paying I think $20 for like 25 cards. Like not even expensive, bro. Like, you know what I mean? But it was cool, like because like you said, nobody's had one. When they see it, they were like,
that's what I'm saying.
Oh
dude.
Shit, bro! Like this is kind of cool. How did you? And then when
to me, what's crazy is that it still falls under marketing.
Oh yeah.
And like that's what I'm saying, to like attribute you to Angel Stadium, like a baseball card makes it that much more official. Because we're in a day and age of like digicards, like the way people push. Yeah. Like this is how I found the artist.
Right. And
for them to like even
that's
notice,
kind of old school. You know what I mean? That's more like
that's still pushing out the trunk type shit. You know?
Yeah.
It's like literally similar to CDs and shit. Because that's the way somebody would like.
And it was cool.
Even
like,
notice.
Like, oh, like you sign it with a shirt. I'm like, cool. Right. That's cool. You know what I mean? Like that's
so hard, bro. What a guy.
Yeah, it's clean, dude.
Yeah, that's hard.
So in like that old style, Tops, and so that it worked out. And then
what a spot you chose too.
Yeah.
Between the helmet, bro. There's a bunch of spots they just did that you could choose. Yeah, like right there in front of the helmet.
And then I unboxed it when I got it. I took a video of me like unboxing the cards, like you unbox cards. You know what I mean? I made it like a rollout thing for the Benji Gill song. So
right.
I just try to get creative with that shit, bro. Like
that shit gonna be worse, like them famous ones too. One day, gang trash.
Especially whoever got that signature too. Yeah,
it's just cool to have, man. And, like people have it. Like people like have shown me. Oh, I put it like with my other cards and shit. I'm like, cool. That works. That's what we're going for, you know.
Damn.
And like even the CD that I just dropped was all that like themed. You know what I mean? Like the baseball and I started like doing a lot of metaphors and like bars that were like baseball related and shit. And then like I kind of got that shit out of my system because like the new one, I think I have like 1 or 2 bars that reference to that. Like I'll say like what I even say like one more baseball reference. I'm gonna hit it out the ballpark. Kind of like, all right, that's it, bro. I'm gonna leave that alone for a little bit. But it was cool to like make it all about that because I got to enjoy it. My family got to enjoy it. Like my son, like once I put the Benji Gill song out, like he hit me up like, yo, the song's tied. And then we met up and had him at East Goals and he autographed some baseballs for my kids and met my grandma one day. He came out to the tailgate. So it became a really cool thing. And we went to watch him in Arizona for the World Baseball Classic when Mexico played the U.S. And yeah, we met up with Benji and he gave me a shout out. I put that shit out. That shit went crazy, bro. Like I put that shit out when I was at the stadium. I go get a beer, bro. I go get a beer. I go walk up to my spot, like 30 minutes. I look at it. It's like 10,000 views, like that, bro. And I've never had a video like that, but it was because that was going on at the time. And then he autographed my son's hat and took a picture with them. He introduced us to Phil Nevin, the coach from the Angels. And I was like, damn, that's so much shit has happened because of that song that also is valuable to me. Cause like my son got to meet a lot of players, bro. He's gotten a lot of autographs. I think last year he got like, cause every time he would go, he started meeting people and like the ushers and shit like that. So I think last year he got like 12 baseballs and like autographs. This year he already has like 4 of them. So he collects them.
Okay.
But it became a thing that we do together now because of like the music. And I like to make it like involve it in like my actual life and not just be like.
You ever even seen that being a thing as far as even your music end up being reached to like somebody like as far as even your son or just.
Oh, no, bro.
To even branch out into a sports world, you know,
Not
like something
all.
that like, you know, like it's your own interest.
Yeah, they played it. They played that song in Culiacan at the stadium over there in Culiacan, which is for me is a big fucking deal, bro, because. Grew up doing that, grew up going to the stadium, grew up like watching baseball, watching Benji Gill play when I was a kid, you know what I mean? So now all this shit, it was full circle for me. And then again, like the fact that my son loves baseball so much and he, like I've always loved baseball. So I think back, like if I was 8 years old and I got to go to the baseball stadium and meet people and get autographs and ask for this and ask for that and take pictures, that would have been a big fucking deal, you know what I mean? And for him to get to experience
as
that,
a kid, I ain't gonna lie. I pull it back up this.
And it's funny, bro. Like it's funny.
Y'all just watching. I know him.
I'll tell you a funny story, bro. I'll tell you a funny story. He was flexing on his baseball team, right? Little league team, double A. So he was like, I got to meet this guy. I got to meet these. Like I got an autograph from Ohapi. I met Estevez. I met, he was fucking flexing on him. He's like, how did you get to meet him? It's like, oh, it's because my dad's a rapper. And one of the little kids, bro, the little kid turns and she's like, he looks at me and goes, he's not a rapper. He's like 30. Fucking hilarious.
Hey, I would have been so hurt. I would have been like, bro, that kid, dog.
Bro,
I would have been like, that's it.
Yeah.
Pack it
up. I thought it
Chris
was
just being brutally honest. You're just like,
I already know how kids are, bro.
Yeah,
I've heard that shit. I hear that shit every day, bro. Like, my kids don't give a fuck. They'll tell me what they feel, but it was just funny because I was just like, man, that's fucking hilarious. The kid just fucking grilled me right now. It was funny,
and it's not even
bro.
something that like it's a kid, bro. You're not about to respond like
right now, and look, bro, and like,
I'll be your favorite rapper.
And then like all those kids, I mean, but it's cool, bro, because like to watch them play and like I go to all the practices, all the games, I don't miss that shit. So like all the kids, like being involved with them, talking to them about baseball, seeing how passionate they are about it takes me back because I used to be the same way.
Yeah.
But it's cool because I get to go back into that now as an adult. You know what I mean? I got to do it as a kid, and now I get to go back at it and like do it as a dad, and that's fucking cool. You know what I mean?
Nah, that's fire.
Motherfuckers got me running around and shit and doing all this crazy shit I haven't done in years.
Yeah.
My fucking hip is hurting and shit.
I heard
Feel that, bro. Feel that.
Like getting grounders and shit. Some bunny hops.
Straight up. Sometimes I'd go in out there, but like there would be short in practice, like, oh, you want to play right field? I'm like, fuck, all right, here I go. Fucking kids hitting them line drives to me. Yo, hit it somewhere else, dog.
Keeping you on point.
He's all knocking off. I'm over 30.
Yeah. Like, yo, it's been a minute. Like, you fucking hitting line drives and shit. Hit it that way, bro.
Hit it to the outfield.
Funny.
You mentioned it kind of just even with your kid knowing that you make music.
Yeah.
How is it being a father in this scene and also like keeping him comfortable with what you got going on as in, like just in your regular everyday life?
I mean, at first it was different, bro, because I always try to keep it separate because it is two different, two different things, right? But then I found that it took away from both things, right? Like it took away from me when I was creating because I felt like I was missing out on being with them. But then also, I couldn't focus on.
You said them, so you have multiple kids.
Yeah, I got 3 kids.
Oh, 3 kids.
I got a 13-year-old, or he's gonna be 13. His name's Aiden.
Okay.
I have an 8-year-old that his name's Honor, and then my daughter is 5. Her name's Kibri.
Hell yeah!
So
man.
It also didn't let me focus. It didn't allow me to focus on the music because I was thinking about being home. You feel me? So once I started like bringing them to the studio, bringing them to the video shoots, involving them, and they're the first people that hear all my songs, bro. Like, I'll be like, yo, check out this news. I finally dropped this song, and I'll play it for them. Like, I already heard this so many times. I'm like, yeah, you hear it, but nobody else has heard it. Like, till today is everybody can hear it now. I finally put it out. But I just try to involve them as much as possible. And then also I kind of started making music in a way where they can hear it in the future when they're older and kind of understand their dad in a different perspective, right? So that was big for me. And Why I Oughta is a perfect example of that, because if you hear that, I feel like I leave things for them here and there for them to understand different perspectives I have.
That's hella calculated.
Or even like just my mentality about certain things. But, still wanted to make music the way I wanted to make music, but also with that in mind, like, all right, one day they're going to be older and they're going to go through it and they're going to understand everything I'm saying. Like, what do you want them to hear? And
That's wild.
Is what you're saying the right thing to say? Like, is it worth it? It started to be that, right? Because before I'm just writing some bars, I'll write this, I'll write that, no big deal. But then I started caring more because I'm like, yo, okay, they're going to hear this one day and they're going to base everything off that. I mean, think about it, right? We all have like parents, right? If we think of our parents, if we asked them to make 50 songs, right? And we went and always had them, right? While they're living, while they're gone, in the future. And you could always share that, right? You'd be able to pick up a lot of shit from 50 songs, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Right? Different types of songs about this or about that, perspectives, right? Insight. It's a big deal. So I always felt like, all right, cool. I'm leaving them a catalog that they're going to be able to hear in different stages of their life and pick up on different things that they might need or be looking for from someone, like their dad. You feel me? So that was important for me to kind of focus on like Why I Oughta. You feel me? That's why I talk about them for the first time on that album, right? I never really talk about my kids. I made a song with my son for that album. They were involved in the videos, they were involved in the process, and it made it special because now when they think of those songs, they have a memory for it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like I've performed that song with my son. Like in our city, we had a festival for, it's like Dia del Niño, so it's like a day for kids. Excuse me. But we performed it together on stage, and he was fucking excited. We practiced it. We went to like a rehearsal studio, practiced it with mics, but a huge experience.
Yeah,
to get to do that together,
and, bro. That sounds.
You feel me? And like he will always have that to remember. And he had, we shot a video, like they shot a video of it, and it's always going to be there for him to be like, all right, cool. I remember doing that with Pops. Doing the song, recording the video, and then we got to perform it. And now he does violin.
Oh, wow.
So, and he's getting like very, very good at it. He's very he practices a lot and he's really into it. So I'm waiting a little bit longer because he's almost there to where I'm like, all right, cool. We're going to use some samples. Yeah. We're going to put you in the songs. We're going to involve you in the process again, because it's going to be another experience we can share and be like, all right, cool. Remember when we worked on this together?
Imagine that.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Son playing on the back.
Yeah. Like LeBron playing with the son?
Yo.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
That should be cool.
I like that a lot.
It is.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, I felt like that album had a message in like every verse.
Yeah, I try to be heavy, bro.
We were like, man, it's like a mashup between like Evidence and Atmosphere, like Slug.
Right.
Like
big influences, bro. I got the Dilated, you know what I mean? I got that when I was like 16 years old.
Damn.
And I have it. My brother has it and 2 of my cousins have it. So again, right, we're all like, it's a family thing, the hip hop, the baseball, everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good, because I listen to, I think some of my biggest, influence is going to be Slug and Evidence, Rocka, Jay-Z, Royce da 5'9", just to name a few. But those are artists I listen to on a daily basis, bro.
Those are lyricism.
Yeah,
those are
and they all
lyrics.
have like their own shit, bro. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like nobody sounds like that guy. Like nobody sounds like Slug. Nobody sounds like Evidence. Nobody sounds like something you can't really replicate. And if you do,
right,
you pick up on it really quick.
Mm-hmm.
If someone's trying to sound like them in particular, you're like, nah, you're just trying to sound like them. You feel me? So like that's like I always kind of was a student of all that, and yeah, I try to mash it up because then sometimes I'll get as deep in the metaphor as Slug, but then I get as witty on the hook as Evidence. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
that's how we were feeling it.
Yeah,
I was telling this guy on the way over here too. The exact same shit. You just said it right now.
Yeah. And I mean, think about it, right? Like I always for this new project that I'm working on, I thought about a few things. You know how there's certain songs that you hear and you're just like, man, that shit just sounds really good, like to my ear. Like no matter when you hear it, you're just like, that shit sounds good. So I try to like write down in a notepad what those things were, right? That kind of grab your ear, and I try to like kind of place them in the songs randomly in different ways, right? To kind of see what that does like to the listener, right? Because I mean, we all have like our favorite songs where you're just like I was listening to Manu Chao, Me Gustas Tu. So you guys familiar with that song?
I think I've heard it through my aunt.
I'm not.
So that song, when it plays, it's like this little like chime, and then it starts like a little bongo tune, right? And like I remember
Is it kind of like a cumbia?
It's kind of like a cumbia. It's like more like reggae, like revolution type of shit. Like, that song. Every time I would hear it, I'm like, yo, like, even if I just heard this song, or even if like I've heard it recently. As soon as I play it, like it puts me in the mood, like you know what I mean. Right. Or like if you a lot of like the Bob Marley songs, right? When you hear certain instrumentation, you're like, oh, that shit just sounds good. You know what I mean? So I try to like write those things down and be like, all right, how can I incorporate that into the beat or into the song? Or
I hear that.
Maybe
to me, that's what like it'll be
outro.
with DJ Premier scratches at the like at the beginning of the song.
Yeah.
To like other people, it don't really move them, but for me to just hear that little
you know what it is,
scratch or Premier scratch at the beginning.
Yeah.
Just even for like 10 seconds, I'm like, oh, nah, this song's
too
crazy.
bad.
The song hasn't even started yet, bro.
It sets the
just
tone.
a little scratch up at the beginning, and I'm like,
tone.
oh, damn. You know?
And I mean, you got to think what that does for me, like as a rapper. If I hear that on the beat before I write to it, like I'm already like, all right, fuck yeah. You know what I mean?
I can't even disappoint.
Like it's just a motivator. Like, all right, I gotta do it.
Damn it.
I'm cool with it. Like, bro, that's my favorite thing. Like when I do features and shit, like when they send me like everything. Like recently, we just dropped a song called La Guerra with
what does that mean?
The War.
The War
with Chicano Syndicate. It's a group named Chicano Syndicate. So I wrote that verse in Spanish, and when they sent it to me, they said, we're like, all right, cool, we're gonna meet up, we're gonna link up and record it. He already had the verses, they had the hook on there. So for me, once you like, if you put me somewhere where it's like, all right, this is what you're gonna write about, and it's dope, like, oh, I'm good. Like I wrote that verse in like 30 minutes, right? and it's one of my favorites now.
So you're like comfortable with Spanish, like?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Now, I mean, because I wrote English shit for so long that like when I would only write like a bar or two in Spanish at a time, so I wrote so many bars in English that I mean, there's only so much shit you can write. You feel me? Like, or about, right?
Right.
But when I included the Spanish into it, it changed everything because now I'm using different words. Now I could rhyme an English word with a Spanish word, which that's my favorite thing about it. Because like, sometimes you rhyme words and you kind of expect it, right? Like when you hear a rapper with the lyrical mirror, like you're expecting that shit. Like that's what rhymes, right? You're used to that. But in other cases, you might be able to use a word that is very, different, like that you've never rhymed with, and then flip it with an English word. So now you're rhyming two different languages together. And I feel like that's interesting because not a lot of people do that, bro. I mean, or at least I don't know a lot of rappers that do that. So I mean, I think that's a pretty unique way to like position shit.
I don't know a lot of rappers that are good. I'm sorry. Yeah, not a lot of rappers that really can do that though.
Yeah,
can. Like,
it's hard.
It makes sense, and I'm like, damn, I can really understand what he's saying.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I clown on sometimes because like I'll do a show and do a lot of shit in Spanish, and then I'll see like that homie that never raps in Spanish next time and be like, all right, I got a song in Spanish. but you can't fake the funk if you don't speak it, you don't speak it. You feel me? Like if you don't have the vocabulary and you don't speak it on a daily basis, like I speak Spanish to my kids, you know what I mean? Like my mom only speaks Spanish, so I communicate in Spanish every single day. So if you don't practice it, you lose it. So sometimes I really also base it on that. Like, yo, I have decent Spanish. Like I want to use it, especially if I could rhyme some shit in English at the same time. Like who's doing that? And then that's when like I really started doing that, and that's kind of became like my stamp. Now people are expecting it now, and it was cool too because I got to do a show in Culiacan in Mexico. Yeah, and it was weird because usually I come out to the shows and I have more people that won't understand the Spanish shit, right? Because I'm rapping in English, and then the Spanish I get more people that don't understand it. But in Mexico it was the opposite. Everybody understood all my Spanish shit, but not my English shit. So working the crowd, the shout outs, the just communication, switching that to Spanish was like, oh shit, this is not as easy as I thought it would be,
When you do perform out there though, does that come into effect of your like set list? Where like you'll have more Spanish, obviously.
I did
just have less English in your
set? I never had to think about it till that one time. Okay. So, and I did do that. I literally pulled every Spanish verse that I had out, and I even memorized verses that I didn't know to make sure I did more Spanish. So, and then they give me a 30-minute set, bro. So I did 14 songs, bro. So I went like, you know what I mean? I've never really done that big of or long of a set. So I took out everything I had in Spanish. But it helped too because when I got back over here and I redid my set, I started incorporating some of the music that I hadn't done before that was in Spanish, or I started figuring out like what verse to put on what beat, just switch it up and shit like that. But it was an experience for sure, bro. Because I mean, in Sinaloa, bro, like the prominent music is banda. I mean, they'll fuck with hip hop and they appreciate it, but you really got to go out there and put on a fucking show because right before you and right after you is 10, 12 motherfuckers playing music up there, and that's live. You know what I mean? So I really had to like get my energy up and fucking really plan out the whole set, like what I'm gonna say there, like when I'm gonna switch it up, like do an acapella. Like what song do I cut out if they ain't fucking with it? Like really strategize the whole set. And I got through the whole set. Everybody was cool. I think the best thing I did was people appreciate like shit out there, bro. So like I took like 100 CDs and like 400 stickers, and I literally passed them out like to the crowd, bro. That shit was gone, but it pulled everybody towards me. So I had everybody like right there, and it made it a better performance because everybody was at the front. Right.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. So I've seen you perform at La Santa opening up for Sick Jackin'.
That was a good one.
That was a good one.
I was drunk, bro.
It got my fucking attention. You were like, as soon as you got up on stage, he said, if y'all want to start moshing, go ahead. And then he started rapping, bro.
See what I'm saying? I was drunk. You know what I mean? My best shows is when I'm just having a good time, bro. If I'm feeling the energy, and like that was a perfect show. That was one of the shows, bro, where I did not fuck up at all. Like,
yeah, bro, you had a great performance.
I'm a stoner, bro, so I like.
As soon as you hit that Spanish verse, that's when everybody turned around.
Yeah, I miss.
They really weren't fucking with people before you.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you came on, you had people turning heads.
And it's competition, bro. Like it's a bunch of rappers in that room, and Sick Jackin's in that room, and like I've gotten to talk to Jackin before and introduce myself, and I've opened up for him before, but I also want to bring something to the fucking show. You know what I mean? Something to the table, and when I see people when I'm doing shows, I always catch the performer before me, right? I try to scope out what mic is better, where to stand, where not to stand, where the feedback's happening. Try to see different things to just prepare myself when I go up there, and I'm watching what they're doing and what they're talking about, and I'm gauging it like, all right, what is this gonna sound like after this, and that show, bro, I just went up there like I was ready to fucking rap, bro. I was just ready to rap, and I remember going in like, all right, cool, I shouted out Psycho Realm. I'm like, you guys want a mosh pit? And then I think we started the first song, and then I did an acapella in Spanish too, and that's when everybody was like, all right, we'll pay attention now, but that's why I do the acapella at first, bro, because like once they hear the Spanish and they hear the English, I'm like, all right, cool, now this is different, so I'll listen to it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to do it shows, bro.
Fuck?
Yeah.
Damn. So even with that being said, when you say scoping out the crowd and all that, do you? Because he mentioned earlier about going to the Mexico crowd.
Yeah.
How is it with like transitioning your set, or just like what you want to do first, or like when you incorporate your acapella? Is it the same thing every time, or like
No,
you
it's
don't mind
different.
actually scoping it out and kind of?
No, yeah. I mean,
Or like what would, or like a better question would be, what would make you change what you originally had planned?
just the crowd, bro. You
Okay.
know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm there to put on a show. You feel me? And like, depending on different, you know, if I'm in Mexico and everybody's gonna be understanding the Spanish, I'm gonna do that, right? And you know, there's been different shows that I do where I take some of the Spanish out. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't make sense for the crowd. But I always kind of have a strategy, and I think now I have a set to where like I'll go through the set and I'll know, all right, I'm gonna skip this song. Or I'm gonna do this song, or I'm not gonna do that song, but I'm gonna do the acapella. So I really kind of just play it by ear. But I know what what I have, right? I know what the arsenal is. I just didn't pick what to use to be most effective, like while I'm on stage, so people paying attention, and then also people like, you know what I mean? Like again, they want to see a show, bro. You know what I mean? I don't, like. I don't do the rapping over vocal shit. I don't try to, I don't really do anything that's going to be looked at in an underground scene and be like, oh, that shit's like too poppy or too, you know what I mean? So I kind of just want it to the crowd, especially like that, right? Psycho Realm crowd, bro, they want to hear the Spanish.
Yeah, they do.
You know, they're from Sinaloa too, you know what I mean? So they want to hear that and they want to hear certain songs. You feel me? There's going to be certain songs that might not make sense for the Psycho Realm crowd, but would make sense for the Atmosphere crowd. Right. You feel me? So you got to play it by ear.
Right. You got all that in the tuck to wherever you pull up to.
Yeah, and like my USB drive is ready to go, bro. Like I have different sets, like they're already named, and I already tell them, hey, just do set 2 or do set 4 or do set 1. You know what I mean? Like just so I know how long it is. If I have a 15-minute set, 20-minute set, 25-minute set, or just what's gonna make most sense.
Right.
Yeah.
I hear it.
Yeah, that's so calculated.
Yeah, that's experience, bro. Yeah,
you got to be on it, bro. I mean,
you be helping DJs.
Yeah,
bro.
Yeah. He doing these.
I mean, it's. I think.
Well, just because it does take you out of a performance when you see a performer going, no, skip that song, play the next one, play the next one.
Yeah.
And the
It's
crowd is just there
or-
standing around
But
like, oh,
but it just depends on how you do it,
Right.
right? Like, there's been times that I'll skip a song and be like, hey DJ, hold this song. I'm gonna do it a cappella so the crowd can hear me, right? That's an introduction.
Right, that makes sense.
I'm letting the crowd know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But if you do, hey, skip this song. What we got next? That's awkward, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, you should already know this. Like, you have to know this.
Yeah.
You can't be figuring that shit out on stage because you're not prepared. But that's the thing, bro. Some people go up there to put on a show, and some people just go up there to perform. Those are two different fucking things, right? Yeah. Some people book a show to say, hey, guess what? I have a show. You should come. Right? Come watch me rap over my vocals. Come watch me do 4 songs because I don't have more. Right? But for me, it's like, yo, I've never met these guys, these girls, these people. Yeah. I got to show out, right? Because when I go home, I need 25 more listeners that I had the day before. And if I didn't do that, it wasn't worth it, bro. Like, that's what makes it worth it for me. Because, like, as I put more music out, I want to have more listeners. What's the point of you could put out the dopest album ever, but if nobody's listening to it, it's never going to be looked at as a classic because nobody's listening to it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we how many times do you stumble across that? You're like, man, this guy's so fucking dope. How is he not doing this or
trying
that?
To convince people about the people I like.
You feel me? But you know what the problem is, though? It's not the problem is not that they're not dope. The problem is that they don't have a listening base.
Okay.
That's really what it is, bro. Everybody, I mean, I know so many homies that are just so fucking talented, bro.
Yeah.
And the reason is because it takes a lot of work and a lot of consistency to formulate that kind of fan base to where it's going to make a difference when you drop something. Like me, like I always thought about it, right? Like I'm always big on putting people on game, and I'm always, I tell people shortcuts, bro. I'm not, my competition is in my bars. It's not in the way I move, right? So I always tell people, if you sell 100 CDs, think about this, bro. 100 CDs, right? I sold 100 CDs for it was $15 for oughta, right? That's equivalent to 750,000 streams. 100 CDs. So somebody like me as an underground rapper, I'm not gonna get 8 million streams, but I could sell 400 CDs. You feel me? So if I pay $1 a CD, and I'm selling it for $15, the return on investment is clearly there when you're selling 100, 200, 300. Right. So I always tell people, man, find your 100 people, then find your 250 people, then find your 500 people, right? Because if we talk about people like Evidence, right? He has 20,000 people every time he drops a vinyl or a shirt or a hat. Every drop is he's cleared. Right. He's probably not even going to make enough to get everything in. He always sells out on his shit. But that's where it's at, because you got to, like, I always tell people that, like, oh, well, why do you still make CDs? Because it's still something you could hold, right? Some people do want this. And
and if your fans fuck with it, why not?
Yeah. And it costs $1, bro. Like, get your music out there. Like, hustle out the trunk. Do it, because what are you going to do, right? Let's say I get off a stage and you're like, hey, bro, I really like your shit. Cool. Check out my Spotify. Check out my Apple Music. That's cool and everything, right? But that's not going to generate what you need, which is a budget for the next shit you're going to put out, for the next shit you're going to drop, for the video you're going to make, for the shit you need to mix. Like, that shit has to go full circle. So I always tell people, like, find your 100 people. Don't worry about that, right? If you find 100 people and you sell CDs at $15, that's $1,500 right there that you have as a budget now, right? And that's 100. We're not even talking about 250 at 500, right? So I always tell people, like, yo, think about that shit. And when you make a shirt, same shit. Like, figure out your people, bro. Cater to them. People will be joining. You're going to go from 100 to 105 to 118 to 120 to 125. Then you're going to lose a few. Then you're going to go 130. It's cool, right? But as long as you're adding to that and you're catering to them, everything's going to be all right, right? The better the music, the momentum's going to be quicker, obviously, right? Yeah. And the more you work on it, the momentum's going to be quicker. Because I've seen a lot of successful whack rappers. Yeah. Just like I've seen a lot of underappreciated, really good rappers. It happens. It's not an accident. They just outworked them. Right. You feel me? Like, so for me, it's always been like, all right, cool. People are like, all right, I'm going to drop a project. Like, I dropped a project December 2021, and I dropped a project in December 2022. Now I'm going to drop the third one in December 2023. But for me, it's just... Can you name all those three real quick? Yeah. So it was Why I Oughta, then it was Fair Enough, and then the new one's called Ya Dije, which means I said it, kind of like when you're trying to end a conversation, like Ya Dije, like, right? That's my opinion, right? And they're all, every album is a phrase. Like Why I Oughta is like Why I Oughta, you know what I mean? Yeah. Fair Enough is fair enough, right? Not here to argue with anybody. Like,
they're all ending statements.
Yeah, exactly. So it's always been like, I kind of made it a theme, and I really see it as probably one of my last projects when it comes to like a full project, because I want to do one more like in the future with no features, just me on everything. But I'm leaving that one for last. But ever since I started making music, I always did it on a basis of a project, and it's a lot of fucking work, bro. And I never looked at it like that because I was just in that mode, right? Like my first, and the music that I first made was with a homie named Strange, and he made beats. So I copped a few beats off him, and I just started writing, and they were just verses, bro. Like, it wasn't really songs, you know?
Just being comfortable rapping and shit.
Yeah. I mean, I had just started too, so I made those songs, and then we were called The Strangers. With a Z at the end, right? Because like Zenaloa and the Strangers, and then like I was talking to you guys about Junio.
Real quick, how'd you get your name?
Well, I'm from Sinaloa.
Oh yeah. So you just do the Z on it?
The Zen, right?
Oh, the Zen.
Like, I really wanted to, like, because I mean, Sinaloa is known as like a chaotic ass place, right?
It is, bro.
And
it's associated with the cartel right after the name, you know.
Right. So the Zen was the balance, right? Like the Zen is like when I get fucking detailed about the writing, and the Zenaloa is my culture, right? It's me it's me putting that on too, because there is hip hop in Sinaloa. There's just not a lot of it, and I wanted to rep OC like I rep Culiacan too, you know.
That's hard. So then, like the Z on Athens and Strangers, it just made sense.
And we did the Strangers, we did Spaces, we did Independent Thinkers, we did like every project was like with one producer, and we were doing 10 songs, and it was just like I picked those 10 songs and literally, bro, blocked out everything else. Like, I'm working on these 10 songs. Today I'll work on this song. Tomorrow I'll work on that song. I'm going to add. I'm going to take out. It was always like a project. I never worked on one song at a time. Like it was always a project. Even to the last project I just put out, I picked those 5 beats and I knew, all right, cool. This is what I'm going with. Let's start building, right? And even with the one I'm working on right now, I picked 5 beats and that's what it is and that's what it's going to be. Mm-hmm. But after this, I just want to do like one song at a time. You know what I mean? Like I have this new beat. It's like a really funky West Coast beat, like summertime beat I'm working on. And cause I already wrote everything for the project. We're just building it, recording it, and like mixing and mastering. So I'm like, all right, this is gonna be like the first single that I put out separately, but it's like a really different beat that I ever used. It's really a West Coast, you know.
Why the switch up?
Because I've never been able to do that because it didn't go with everything else. You feel me?
I hear you.
Like if
just even going back to you challenging yourself with trying to do the Spanish in the first place.
Yeah, man. Like I said, like that was just the crowd. Mm-hmm. The crowd is what demanded more Spanish. Because when I was rapping and now this
is more personal. Like just like something you want to do.
Yeah. This is something more for me, and like I'm still gonna drop Spanish in there. But I've never rapped on this kind of beat because it didn't go with the rest of the project that I was working on. You know, so now I have that option, and before I didn't. So now it's kind of cool to be like, all right, cool. I'm gonna focus on this song. I'm gonna write this song, put this song out, and pick another one.
Right.
I don't have to pick 5 or 10 at a time. That's more work. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
And I do visuals for like pretty much all the songs I make, bro. Like, or like at least I do a reel, like you know what I mean, to put it out there because people want that, bro.
Reels are popular. Reels are the way to go, dude.
I put out a reel. I'll put out a reel like. And then people be like, dude, your new fucking song is super tight, bro. I'm like, that shit's been out for like 8 years, bro. Like, you just watched it. That shit's been out for... I went to
putting people on blast.
You having these rules to expose people.
Yeah. But, hey, we're the same way, right? Like, we watch a video and it entertains us. So, but like this song called Matches and that I put out, I had to put that shit out in like 2013. I did a reel for it this last October, bro. I was in Culiacan and I recorded it over there and we put it out and people were like, oh, that new song. I'm like, bro, I don't even sound like that anymore. Like my voice sounds like this shit was 10 years ago. I sound different, bro. Like you should like, all right, but cool, I'll take it. Yeah. Right? Like I'll take it. Like, but that's why I learned, like, all right, cool. Anything you put out, like put a visual out. Funny, yeah. Like if it's not good enough for a visual, it's not good enough to be a song. So like I made that a fucking thing and
what a bar.
Now it's like
good enough for a visual.
Like every song on Why Oughta, bro. Every song on Why Oughta either has a video, like a full video, or a minute reel. All the songs except one. And then we're working on that last one. And then fair enough, I'm gonna drop reels before I drop this project because I'm like, yo, I still have music that people haven't listened to because they don't, you know what I mean? I gotta fucking get them there.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put out a bunch of reels from now to December before I put out the new project because the new project is brand new, five songs.
When is it coming out?
December.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been doing December the last 3 years, and again, more game, right? I put out the physical in December for everybody that buys it to have it first. If you buy the physical, the digital on all platforms doesn't come out to January 1st, right? Because if you look at a project right now and you look up a rapper. You go to their first shit, right?
Yeah.
And you see it on there when it was released. Do you guys ever look at when it was released?
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So if I put it out January 1st, that shit was released in 2023 for the whole year. Mm-hmm. If I put that shit out December 31st, that shit's old now. It's a year old. On the first day of January,
right. People are going to think, oh, he dropped last year.
Yeah. So I'd always do the digital in December. Whoever wants to buy it, you're going to get it first. You're going to hear it first. And you're going to get a digital copy first. Right? And then once January 1st rolls around, then everybody else can listen to it. And that's just been the strategy the last 2 years. It's the third year on it.
Dropping game.
Yeah. So with that being said, for you wanting to do more single type of work, are you going to be dropping more often?
Yeah, I mean, shit, man. It's been like 20 songs in 3 years. So I don't know a lot of rappers that have been putting it out. But yeah. I think my goal is every 2 to 3 months, put out a new single with a video.
Okay.
So 4 songs a year.
Yeah, that's cool.
You know what I mean? That's my goal. And that's my pace, you know, with the kids and work. I try to balance it out, but it's just the time I allot to it. You feel me? Right. And for me, it's my time. You feel me? Because like when I work on music, it's usually with my cousin or my friends. So it's like we're just hanging out, just making music. So I take that time for myself. But I think that's a lot of music, bro. I don't know a lot of rappers that put out 4 songs a year. I really don't, bro. Like, especially local. I mean, if you think of local rappers, and you know, you guys can think, let's say your top 5 OC local rappers, and you think about how much material they put out in the last, let's say, 3 years, right? People don't put out a lot of music, bro.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not about that shit. I'm not really about the extra shit. I'm about putting out music, like letting that shit speak for itself. Like anything that comes to me, I want it to be because it's like, yo, the music's dope. Not because, you know, I'm rapping with this guy or because, you know, whatever the fuck it could be, you know, many things. But yeah, I just focus on the music aspect of it.
That's fire, bro.
Damn.
Yeah.
This has been a great conversation.
What a guy.
We didn't even do an introduction.
We did it.
Right?
Yeah, we honestly
dove straight into that.
Yeah, we got straight to it.
Yeah, for a while I thought we were just talking.
I know. I was waiting for Jose to be like, all right, bro. So now we're doing the intro.
Yeah, because
But,
that's usually what happens. We'll talk for a little bit, and then Jose will be like, okay, now we're gonna do the intro. But that shit
got good,
yeah.
bro. Shit got good.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to edit in a introduction right now.
Yeah.
But yeah,
You know they're gonna see a weird cut right
no, and the reason I wanted to talk about all this, and I'm happy you guys are asking me about this shit, is because this is a OC based podcast,
Right.
and that's who I want to share all this shit with.
Appreciate that.
Like I said, I don't fuck like if anybody hits me up, bro, any rapper that's ever hit me up, like I don't shy away from telling them what I need to tell them. Like that's not the competition. The competition's in our bars. That has nothing to do with like us as people, right? But there's a lot of people out there in the world, man. There's enough for everybody, you know, to get listeners. You feel me? And we'll share listeners. Man. I don't know any people. I don't know any person that just listens to one rapper.
Facts.
Right? Yeah. So it's okay. Like I've never seen it as that. So I always try to, you know, put people on game and tell them what I can or what I learned or the shortcut. Like don't do this because I did it and it cost me time. It cost me money. But I really felt like this was a good place because it's going to be OC people listening to this shit. And I think it's super important for us to advance like the culture here, bro. You know what I mean? Going around and, you know, just coming off some shows in Central California and then, you know, going up to LA, going to San Diego, you know, doing shows in different places. We don't have the proper representation everywhere yet. But we do have the proper talent. There's a lot of motherfuckers out here that are super dope. And I always think like, man, every time I'm doing a show, I think, man, like for that particular show, if this guy was here, he would have fucking killed it. If Doughboy Tony was here, he would have killed this crowd. If Pretty Papes was here, he would have killed this crowd. Like I always think about like certain rappers for certain crowds. And I'm just like, man, we just need representation. We just need more people that go out there. And that's why I try to give the shortcut so people know like, don't get too caught up in shit and don't get too wrapped up on certain shit because at the end of the day it's all work, bro. You know, it's all trying to stay consistent, put new music, and at the end of the day we're artists. It's music, bro. Like that has to be number one priority above everything else. Everything else should come second and third and after that. But it's all, you got to make the music dope, you know?
Yeah, makes sense, man.
What a message.
You got to make the music dope. Focus on that. Like, instead of focusing on other shit, you know, the gimmick part about it or trying to, you know, shock value and all that shit. Like, that's just not cool, man. Like, and I like to talk about that with the younger crowd, you know, because they always feel like they have to compensate for their age and talk about, you know, this or that or, you know, mention this or that. And it's like, yeah, you guys... You don't want to put yourself in that box. You know what I mean? Talk about yourself. Talk about your life. Talk about what you've been through, what you think, and your perspective on shit. Like that's what people want to hear because people out there are gonna relate to it. Right. They're gonna connect. I mean, we all listen to rappers that we connect with. Like, oh, I feel you. You know what I mean? Like, I really feel you. Not only do I get what you're saying, I feel it. You feel me? So I feel like that's the biggest thing. That's how I try to connect with people, right? Because I mean, I could go and do a whole image of shit, but if it ain't even me, people aren't gonna connect with that shit. People like it's an energy thing, bro. You know when it's when people are out there just acting. You feel me? Like there's actors and there's rappers, bro. You know that's why there's a lot of rappers that become really good actors. You know what I mean? They've been doing it for so long.
I feel you, bro.
You know?
By himself. I'm listening.
Yeah, like Ludacris is a super good actor, bro.
I'm listening. We got Cool J, we got Q. We got,
That's what I say,
bro. There's some people.
He's not that
Some
good of an
people
actor.
in there.
Bro.
Who?
Q.
Nah, Cube's
You
not a
know
good
Ludacris?
actor. That's why, because he's a real rapper.
His movies are good. His movies
he's
are
just
good. He's a
Ice
good
Cube
actor.
Well,
in
he's
a
a
movie.
writer, bro. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? He
Yeah,
writes
bro.
the shit.
He's just Ice Cube in a movie.
You're gonna tell me
yeah.
his Triple X is better than Vin Diesel's?
They're both whack.
That's just, I wouldn't choose a movie like that.
You got,
him to,
you got, like, one's bad and one's really bad.
But like in
You
Friday, he's not acting.
You feel me?
He's
I
just
wasn't even
being Ice
judging
Cube.
those two.
Yeah,
movies.
You know what I mean?
I forgot about those movies.
Or Anaconda?
I was thinking about. I was thinking more about the.
I was thinking of Boys in the Hood.
That's
Yeah,
what
there you
I'm
go.
saying.
Like-
Bro, that's a
But that's
great,
a good
But
movie.
but he's just being Ice Cube.
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah. Yeah, I think.
He was around. I mean,
Nah,
he was around.
bro.
then.
And
Yeah, I
and
don't know.
whenever
He was
he's
acting in that
whenever he's in a
joke,
role
bro.
where he's not just like what Ice Cube usually is.
Yeah, because he's like he's
He
like
usually is.
he's like
Well,
a kind of
then-
awkward.
You trying
guy.
to profile right now, though?
Well, yeah, no, see, look. I feel like
Bro,
that's
you just named
perception.
Anaconda.
Nah,
Bro, but that's a movie that he did, though.
Wait, he was in
Yeah,
that?
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't remember that.
yeah, exactly.
nah,
It's
bro,
like a
but,
quick-
bro,
Like
like
Three
bro, but in
Kings.
Boys in the Hood, it's like
Kings.
real
He was alright in
acting,
Three
bro.
Kings.
Like,
Yeah, Boys in the Hood. Like
yeah, like, bro, like if he doesn't have that role, like the appeal, even after Ricky dies, bro, like he's not just Ice Cube like that. I know from the rap, like he was. I don't
Yeah,
know,
he's
bro,
a-
like
yeah.
there's like emotion in the role. That's why I feel like it was good acting. Like there
Yeah,
was
he
a
know-
lot
he-
of emotion.
I mean, he knows how to
portrayed,
act.
you know?
But I mean,
At least,
I
bro.
also feel
That-
like
to me, bro, I don't know. That's a
there-
great film to me.
even he done like those kid movies and
I was
shit
about to say,
like
if you're
that
gonna
too.
criticize the role, bro, criticize the Are
kid
We There
movie,
Yet?
right?
Yeah,
shit like
yeah,
that.
shit like that.
Hey, but you know you can't because
I was calling out real movies.
Okay,
My
but
bad.
look at the payroll on that, like the
Oh,
payday
yeah.
on that.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm not even mad at it.
I hear you.
For that kind of shit, it's
Yeah, see,
fine
I-
if you act. You know,
everybody got-
right along.
you got
you know?
paid, bro.
That's true.
So-
You have to at some
Everybody
point
has
in time, I
a
feel
little
like.
But Friday and Boys in the Hood,
Yeah, classics.
that's good acting to me.
yeah,
bro.
classics. Yeah,
And
and
I
then
feel like Friday's debatable if you're gonna debate that. But I agree with you. I think it's more acting. I think it's more
but think
acting
about
than
who was in that
anything.
movie, bro.
That's
A lot
how
of
people
people.
act.
You had a
I've been
bunch
around
of
a lot
rappers.
fools
You had a bunch of
that
like,
been like that. That's
like
what I'm
yeah,
saying.
I remember like
it's
Baby
good.
D,
It's great acting.
A lot of people.
the rapper. You know, you got
In what? In what?
in Friday, in next Friday, Baby D, big girl,
Oh,
Lady
that's right,
of
yeah.
Rage.
Yeah,
She's a rapper, bro. Like
Yeah.
most of the people that were in that
Sleep.
movie were
Rappers.
straight rappers, like
Okay.
which was cool. You know, you
Yeah.
saw a few
I
different
hear
people
that.
in there.
That's
but-
what. See, look, I'm a big Belly fan. That got Nas and
Yeah,
DMX.
yeah.
You know, like
yeah,
but
and
they didn't really act that good in that.
Nah.
but it's just a good movie to me.
yeah.
Nah, you think
But I
about that.
think
A few
Ice
times,
Cube
Jumped out of the
rap,
building
like,
with
yeah.
the quad.
a few
That's what I'm
times,
saying,
a few
yeah.
times in the movie, you're like, damn, these motherfuckers are bad.
Yeah,
actors.
yeah. But like, bro, like Cool J got good acting movies to me,
Yeah.
bro.
Oh yeah.
Like LL got
see, like, he-
some
bro,
good
but-
films to me.
But he
Like,
got in
I
that
swear,
mode
bro.
when he got lovey dub. You know what I mean? He knew
Yeah.
like, yo, this is a check. Like I'm gonna get in whatever mode they tell me to get in. Like,
Nah, I
get
hear
that,
it.
You know what I mean? He's
I hear.
Feel that.
he,
I ain't
he-
even mad at
that's
him.
why he's that's why he's in. But he is who he is. I mean, he could rap.
Mhm.
Nobody can debate that.
Yeah.
So I mean, and he's from a different era too, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was part of like the pioneers of it,
Oh,
which,
yeah.
which changes it. You know what I mean?
Nah, Def.
So
Who's
yeah.
like a more new school? Somebody that like went into acting.
A rapper that went to act.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know.
I don't know.
Kendrick was in Atlanta. No, he was in he was in Power.
Oh yeah.
Well,
he's
now
he's
I
a
think
bum,
now
right?
it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
now it's just a
I'd
bunch
say
of rap
50
shit.
maybe? No,
Oh, see?
maybe.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying,
50.
bro.
Yeah.
What the hell? 50. Thank you, Frank. What?
Yeah, 50 dope.
He's
It was
top
that one
tier,
weak
bro.
ass movie. He had that one weak ass movie, bro. He was like a football player or some shit, bro. And he got
Oh,
like cancer or some shit,
Yeah,
bro. That shit was
yeah.
whack.
I didn't
That
know
was
that one.
fucking whack.
I didn't know that one.
Yeah, I
That
don't
shit,
know.
yeah,
Yeah.
see, that's why.
I don't remember the
It
name
was
of that.
fucking
I
whack,
don't
bro.
know.
The other films that he
One thing
wasn't-
about me, bro.
never hit theaters.
I'm gonna talk about the worst. I'm gonna talk about the worst.
I'm gonna bring up the worst of it.
it.
Nah, bro.
Yeah.
dude, I
Snoop
know.
Dogg too. That fool's in like
Yeah.
Bollywood.
Oh, yeah,
movies.
That's
what?
Snoop Dogg. That's
Every
He's in
another
movie,
movie.
Bollywood
bro.
movies.
Yeah.
Snoop's in films, bro.
Yeah, one
Snoop's
thing
out
about
there.
Snoop, bro, he's about a
Snoop's in
bag.
films,
He's
bro.
down for
Yeah,
a bag.
he's down for anything.
Bro, Snoop's top tier, baby boy.
I ain't
We're
even
not
mad.
doing
Yeah,
that.
I was about to say, I ain't even mad at it.
We called it down for Snoop.
Jody.
We called it down for Snoop.
Jody.
What else is
bro.
in there? I watched another movie the other day.
He's
with
fucking
Dr.
does
Dre.
it.
Oh,
He
The
does it
Wash.
all, bro. Oh yeah,
Dr.
The Wash.
Dre. He's
The
a
Wash.
yeah.
He's a fool in that.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm like, oh yeah, this is Snoop. To me, how I was growing up, I was like, oh, this is Snoop. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that dude in like commercials and shit. Jack in the Box Munchie Meal commercial and shit.
That's what I'm saying. One thing about Snoop, bro, he gonna get a bag, bro.
Martha Stewart
for like 30 minutes without like appearing on screen.
Or Corona commercial and shit, like everything, bro.
Yeah, with Bad Bunny, like
I'm not mad at him, bro.
Him and Shaq, dude, they're just like always on TV.
True.
You know what, bro? Whoever the fuck their like agent is, top tier, bro.
For real, huh?
Because you know they ain't making those calls. They're getting those. Like, hey, Snoop got fucking 45 minutes next week. You gotta fucking check for him.
Yeah, exactly.
At fucking Jack in the Box.
Available, huh?
Yeah. That's it.
Need 300 lodge,
right?
45. I'm not pulling up for anything less than 50
for real,
minutes.
G.
Yeah. Oh, he gets paid too, bro. They ain't fucking underpaying Snoop because he got options.
You can, bro.
You know
Yeah,
what I
you
mean?
can.
Oh, yeah. I hear you.
Like he'll go
to. You have to overcompensate.
He'll go to Wendy's and fucking shit up.
And then McDonald's mad as shit. We could have had him. Yeah. And they're
fucking now you hear all these restaurant diss tracks and shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Fools dissing Jack in the Box.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Oh damn.
It's all part of the marketing scheme.
It'll soon happen, probably, bro. I'm waiting for it.
Damn. There's got to be a rapper that comes out with their own little fast food chain.
Rick Ross.
Well,
he got.
Yeah, Rick
No,
Ross.
that's
pretty close. That's pretty close.
Yeah, I was
his
about to
own.
say, but he
got-
practically bought it.
Yeah, he got-
bro.
he
Like,
got-
Eminem's got
Riley's
that
in-
spaghetti, mom spaghetti
Riley's-
shit.
Oh, yeah.
In
Detroit,
Detroit,
though, right?
Where's
Oh,
those
word.
chips?
Yeah, I want to go out there.
The rapper
say
chips.
that,
Oh, like rapper
um,
snacks?
Yeah,
There's just a bunch of people
Cameron?
that been on
Cameron?
rap snacks. Yeah.
Jim Joe, who is it? Cameron? Who is it? I forgot.
I
Yeah, I
forgot.
can't-
But
yeah,
I
I
think
forgot.
it's a rapper
There's the
that actually
Cameron
owns
versions. They got the Migos versions too.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah, so
I've seen all types
there's
of
a
people.
couple.
But
I think Jeezy got a bag.
Yeah.
Jeezy or Gucci, one of them got a bag of rap snacks too. But
That's
I know
crazy.
they're
both,
just invested to
honestly.
rappers, you know.
That's fucking
Yeah,
crazy
that's
to
just
me,
kinda
bro.
hard.
I was like their branding, using
Yeah.
rappers on the.
They
fucking-
be selling them in Sam's Club. That shit, all right, you know? Yeah.
Bro, I've seen them from time to time
I
at
got put
Walmart
on
and
by
shit.
somebody. Yeah, I got put on
I'm
that they
tripping
were
the
in
fuck
jail. I
out.
was like, oh shit, because you won't see them in regular stores, bro.
Yeah.
For like, you know,
All right, you
big
got
chain like
you
that.
got
to have
to you got to market to the right people, bro.
them? Yeah, for real.
You can't put it in Stater Brothers, bro. You got to put it.
I hear
Yeah,
you.
bro, you gotta put
Put
it
it
at
at
Walmart,
Walmart, you
right
know
at
what
the
I
line,
I
right
hear
before you
you.
check out.
I hear
Bro,
you.
because you know they're gonna walk in there like, who the fuck is that on that?
Because you
bag?
know one of
I
your
don't
kids is
fucking
gonna
know
see like,
that.
oh, I like that rapper.
Exactly.
Give me the bag.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
You know, you're
bro,
gonna
the
yeah,
average
just
lady
fucking
out
grab
shopping at Stater
Yeah.
Brothers. We're not shopping here no more.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my,
Yeah,
oh
See
my
the parents
god.
covering their eyes. What kind of store is that?
They got rappers on Fritos now. We're out of here.
Right, I know.
What world are we living in?
I thought this was Stater Brothers.
Right.
Even with the marketing, bro, if we could tell us where to find all your music, all your videos.
Yeah. On
Everything,
YouTube, Zenaloa. On all streaming platforms, Zenaloa. Instagram is this is Zenaloa. But yeah, you can search all my shit. Got a lot of music. I got like 50 plus songs already out. A lot of really dope features with a lot of really dope artists that I respect and that I listen to, that I admire. So I always work with people that I really, really like fuck with their music. I don't really compromise on that shit. And then we always try to make it a thing, right? Like when we feature, we hang out, we go eat, we chill, we really have some time together before we get down to the music and shit. So yeah, go listen to it. And depending on what you're looking for, there's a little bit for everybody if you look for it there. So if you're looking for something specific, go down the catalog, you'll find something you fuck with.
That's fire.
Damn.
That's fire, bro.
Zenaloa, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you for
bro.
coming through, bro.
Yeah, this is a good
Putting
time,
the
man.
people on game.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
It's a great
yeah.
conversation.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna try to come up with a podcast in the future where I just cover this kind of shit.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know what I mean? Where I just cover fucking just different.
Get us on.
Yeah, different
Gotta
things
get
to
out there,
do and
G.
different things to learn and just
Hell
get
yeah.
ahead of that shit and just move the culture forward, bro. Like I've always said, I just want to be a part of it, of the OC hip hop scene. And
Hell yeah.
I know that down the road in, I don't know, 5, 10, who knows, right? There's going to be that guy that comes through and all this work that everybody put in is going to be fucking worth it because it's going to put us on the map and that's going to give us access to a lot of shit. And that's the whole fucking point, bro.
Right.
We see it in LA, right?
Yeah.
Look at that shit. J5, when Dilated came out, when Psycho Realm came out. LA is the hip hop scene, bro. People are, a lot of people are coming out here now. New York used to be the place you had to go to solidify yourself in hip hop, and LA has an equivalent scene now. And that's because people paved the way, bro. It's a lot of fucking work. All these OGs that we talk about, like that's just Dilated is 25 years. Psycho Realm's 25 years now. Like,
Yeah.
that's a lot of consistency, bro.
It is. It is.
It's a lot of good music too, bro. You know,
I hear you for sure. We're here for it. Zenaloa, thank you again. Shout out to everybody on YouTube. We hit 250 subscribers, right?
Yeah, today.
Hell yeah.
Congrats. Yeah.
250.
Yeah. But you say cater to that crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like you were talking about.
Yeah, 500's next.
Yeah.
You know, and the road to 500 is going to be faster than the road to 250. Because you guys are putting in work and consistency.
Yeah, hitting 250 was faster than hitting our first 100.
Exactly.
That's
how it works. But isn't that a nice thing to know that once you get to 500, it's going to be quicker to get to 1,000. But it's just work, bro.
Yeah,
the work gets easier in the future.
Right.
So as long as you keep doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, we're here, bro. About to be 3 years strong.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that's work, bro. It's not an easy feat.
Nope. We locked in almost until mid-August already too.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's good, bro.
Thank y'all for listening. This hoser.
It's Jim Asana.
Frankie.
Isaac.
And Zenaloa, we out.
Go around the town, up in my way, up my shit. Niggas be making a sound. Niggas don't wish where I'm from. Grind till we making it out. Selling that fish, selling that fish. Look. Niggas grounded just a sign. I'ma go around the town.